Hi, welcome to Overdrive. This is Shumi, and today I have with me the new Suzuki Inazuma. Just came back from a ride. That's why all the luggage is on it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the motorcycle while I'm still unloading. Okay, don't mind. So what we've got here is Suzuki's first 250cc motorcycle for India, and the big deal is that this is actually a CKD. It comes in kits and it's assembled at the Suzuki factory now, which is a big step forward for Suzuki because so far all of their products have been locally manufactured, which includes locally sourcing, local manufacturing, and now they're going to get these kits. So what have we got here? We've got a parallel twin that makes about 25 bhp, 25 or 26, and to be honest with you, that doesn't sound like a lot of power, and I agree with you. When you look at the spec sheet of this motorcycle, you do really wonder why Suzuki is on it doing this kind of a thing. But when you ride it, you realize that it's not as, let's say, irrelevant a motorcycle as you would like to imagine, because today I rode 2-up almost 400 kilometers. I've just come back. I left in the morning at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's now I think about 3 o'clock, and I have to say that I did really enjoy it. It's not the quickest motorcycle I've ever ridden. Top speed is I think going to be about 135. 2-up with luggage, it did about 130 on the highway, and that was at about 9.5 or 10,000 RPM. Redline is at 11 in 6th gear. And if you come at it from that angle, you would think that the performance isn't all that great. But what it does have, and what Suzuki UK, for example, put out in their official video when this motorcycle first came out, I'm just going to take out the seat and remove the rest of the straps. So when Suzuki UK created their video, and what they said is that they were looking to create a commuter that did a lot of good things. For example, it was very comfortable, it was very refined, it was good to ride. So a commuter that sort of did the job of commuting really well. And I think that they've really nailed, because today on the highway doing 130, 135, 2-up, there's no strain at all, no sign of stress. Now I do wear earplugs, so I assume that if I take the earplugs off, you'll hear the engine a little bit more, but I ride everything with earplugs. So my sense of how much stress a motorcycle is taking is completely tied to what I hear through the earplugs. And this thing sounds quiet and refined, and if you ride it calmly, I think it returns fairly good fuel economy as well. More or less, it's a really nice highway bike. It's probably the best highway bike we've got. I saw a lot of Charismas out on the highway today, and every time I saw one, my reaction was, you know what? This is the motorcycle the Charisma should have been for India. This is the kind of power it should have made. This is how calmly it should have made that power. And I'm just having trouble peeling off the masking tape where the straps for the tank bag went. But it felt really good, and the road I rode today, it's not really what I'd call a fantastic road to ride, but it is a fantastic road to tell you what's what, because there's highway, there's mountain roads, there's broken mountain roads, there's great mountain roads, it's narrow, traffic can be sudden, potholes can be sudden, so it really works the motorcycle out, and it gives you a good sense of what's going on. And what's going on is, this has to be among the most comfortable motorcycles I've tested yet, and I'm including everything in there. 2-up today with luggage, it didn't seem to notice any of the stress of that. My pillion was extremely comfortable. We were together almost 6 hours in the saddle continuously, no problem. Tank range is pretty decent unless you're pushing it. And big surprise, ride quality is actually phenomenal. It absorbs almost everything to the point where you think, that your tires are running a little bit low because it's absorbing too much. And it's when you check it, then you realize that the tires are actually running just the correct pressures. It's the suspension. It is so well tuned for our conditions that it absorbs everything. What would I change on the motorcycle? Well, I think for the price, ABS should be there. 3.1 lakh rupees is a lot of money. And yes, this is a CKD product, and it's a parallel twin that makes it expensive, 3.1 lakh rupees. I get all of that, but I can get better value than this in the market, and I think ABS is a safety feature. There's no argument that it should have ABS. Finally, I think styling, well, to be honest, I'm not a fan. I think it's an unnecessarily large looking motorcycle, and to me, motorcycles need to be purer. They need to sort of do exactly what they promise, and I'm not quite sure what this kind of a styling promises. Yes, it is taking after the beaking. But on the flip side, it does get looks on the road. People do notice, despite this sort of understated black color tone, people do notice that what you've got is a brand new motorcycle, something that looks unfamiliar. And when you start disappearing on them, because it does make a lot of torque, even in sixth, if you just open the gas, it goes. Then people beginning to realize that there is something nice about this motorcycle. So overall, I think this is a fairly expensive motorcycle. 3.1 lakh rupees is a lot of money to pay for a 250, no matter whether it's a parallel twin or not. 25 bhp doesn't make it the most powerful machine you will ride, but if it has four standout attributes. First is the quality of everything on this motorcycle. It's an extremely well put together motorcycle. The second is the engine. I really like its refinement. I really like how unstressed it feels. And though it only does 135, even at 130, it feels like there's absolutely no stress. It could do this all day. In fact, if you've been riding bullets around the highway and, I don't know, sitting at 80, 90 all day, there is nothing on the market today that sits at 80 and 90 and feels as good as this motorcycle right now. Then there is the handling. It's a very sorted handling package. It's not exceptionally quick into the corners, not exceptionally lazy into the corners, but it is extremely planted, extremely stable, and very, very responsive. Finally, the star of the show for me is the comfort and the ride quality. I'm going to put them together because I think they link up very well together. So it's a fairly comfortable seat. It's a very nice, spacious pillion pad. The ergonomics are upright and not very strenuous on you. And it absorbs very, very bad roads really, really well. So overall, it's a very impressive motorcycle, though I do really wish that the price of this thing was about another 40,000-50,000 rupees lower. Then this would be a spectacular buy. Right now, if you're out on the highway with luggage or with pillion and luggage, you're going to do about steady 80s, 90s, 100s down the highway over long distances. It is expensive, but I promise you there is no other motorcycle that gives you that sensation down the highway that this thing does. This is the Suzuki Inazuma 250.